Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Sunday night, 11:16 Eastern Standard Time. Football's over, and I'm on. And as always, guys, I'm going to give some people a couple of seconds to get up on here. Forgive the background. Oh, good evening, Watermelon. How you doing? Oh, I gotta go back. Nope. How was your day, Watermelon? Hope everything was well with you. Few more seconds, go right back at it. Hank. All right, everybody. So, after watching these games and everything, well, I was triggered to, well, not triggered. I was excited to talk about strength. So, what is strength exactly, right? There's many different meanings to. I'm sorry to hear you exhausted. I hope you get some rest. Right, strength, right? There's many different definitions, but these few that I have, I'm gonna just read them out so that way, you understand where I'm going with it, right? One 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 definition of strength is the quality or state of being physically strong, right? Okay, now give me a second. The next is the degree of intensity of a feeling or belief. The congruency of an argument or case, which is probably going to be irrelevant. The next one that's important is the capacity of an object or substance to withstand great force or pressure. The emotional or mental qualities necessary in dealing with situations or events that are distressing or difficult, right? Those meanings. Good evening, Chicky. How you feeling? Those meanings, right, is critical for us each and every day, right? Because you know, a lot of us physically we go through things, and not to be, distasteful, but some of us are getting older. We're not 20 something year olds anymore, right? So we can't do what we used to do in our 20s. So sometimes our bodies give out on us, right? It ain't about, people get asthma too, but I was thinking about arthritis, and that how that slows people down. It makes your bones feel a certain way. It makes your bones lock up and things like that, right? So sometimes we gotta, we hope we take our vitamins and eat well, and hopefully that thing slows down. But the strength of the mind is what I was thinking about, right? You know, the capacity, the capacity. Wait, that's not even the one I was looking at. The capacity of an object or substance to withstand great force or pressure, right? That's a mental, for me, that's a mental thing, right? Because a lot of us go through so much in a day since this is a new year week, but last year a lot of us went through so much that, you know, it felt like so much pressure on our minds, so much pressure in our decision makings, right? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, Miss 25, forever young. But see, that right there, that takes a lot of strength right there, Cheeky, right? Because a lot of people don't have that strength, that mental strength to look at it that way. Some people will just say, you know what, I'm getting older, so I'm gonna go with the flow. Or some people gonna say because I'm such and such age, I don't want to do the workouts that I did at 30 or 25 or 22, right? But that's why I'm saying the fact that we we don't have that mental strength to go forward is something that affects a lot of us, whether we want to admit it or not, right? Because some of us don't have the mental strength to say, you know what, I'm no longer a victim. Some of us don't have the mental strength to say, I can overcome this sickness. I could overcome lack of income. I could lack all of these things. Yeah, CC, you forever 25 too, right? But it takes that, that strength in the mind, because a lot of us has been beaten mentally. A lot of us have been attacked mentally. Our minds are not, we're not strong enough to withstand the difficulties of life, the decisions of life that we make, or the things that come up amongst us, right? Like some people don't have that mental strength to say, I forgive you so I can move on. Some people don't have that strength. Some people would rather just hold on to anger just because they don't want it. They just want to have it. They want to have something to hold on to for that to be their anchor, that for that to be their crutch. Because the strength of mind is a tricky thing, because some people believe that that's what they need to do: stay in their anger, stay in their frustration, give up on life, give up on relationships, give up on whatever the situation is. But we have to understand that with strength, we can get through all things. Some people could say, you know what, I have the strength to admit that I love somebody, even if they won't love me back. Or the strength to say, you know what, I can go ahead and make my goal my primary thing to shoot for. Cheeky says, for me, it's out of sight, out of mind. Don't think about it anymore. My conscience is clear. That's true. But, that's just for those people that you have to forgive, right? Because, or that you don't have to forgive anybody. But I just think it takes strength to forgive somebody, because if you don't, it lingers in the mind. We gotta have the strength to, like, just clear our minds, because people minds be racing all over the place, right? For those people that have bad anxiety, for those people that have uh depression, they're gonna think about those things. Those things are always gonna constantly flash in their mind, because they're not strong enough to let it go out of their mind. That's why, society will call it a mental illness, because it's just that it stays around and it causes them pains and grief and burdens. And sometimes, excuse me, that mental situation leads to a physical situation. It zaps your strength in your body. It wears you down. It makes you feel like, yo, my body's tired. I don't have the strength to get out of bed sometimes when it's that severe. It's those type of things that we have to understand, that we need our strength wholeheartedly, because just like I said the mind and the body go work together, so does the soul, right? So if you don't have it all on one accord, I can't let it go easy. I don't dwell. I can let it go easily. I don't dwell on it. You know, that means that you're strong enough to, to let it go. But not everybody has, everybody doesn't have that strength, cheeky, right? Because, like I said, if everybody had that type of strength, there would be less people with worriations on their mind, less people with vexations and doubts and anxiety and depression and things like that. But it takes great strength to get through all of that, right? It takes great strength to say, you know what? I'm no longer a victim, right? I'm no longer the person that's gonna allow you to walk over me no more. I'm the I'm no I'm the, I have the strength to say no weapons that you form against me shall prosper. You can't emotionally abuse me no more. You can't physically abuse me no more. I have the strength to walk away from those type of things. Everybody don't have that strength. Everybody don't even have the strength to love themselves to walk away from that type of scenario. Some people would rather just stay there because that's what's normal for them. I'm not trying to say that they're losers. That would be improper to say. It's just that their mentality will allow them to stay in that situation to make them feel like that. You know what I mean? Like they'll stay in an abusive relationship. They'll stay into to the meaningless relationships. They'll stay in at that meaningless job. They'll stay at those dead end jobs, all because they don't have the strength to say, I can do better. They don't have the strength to say, I deserve better. They don't have that strength in their mind to say, I could be a winner, right? I believe with strength, courage comes behind it. But I didn't want to talk about courage right now because I just wanted people to understand what the strength was to get to that level. You got to have that strength to say, I can overcome, I can win, I can do it if I set my mind to it. But a lot of people don't know how to say that. It's a lot of get along people. Like I get along with everybody because I just need to get along. Instead of saying I can get along and move past a person, I could get along and get away from people. Some people don't even have the strength to say, you know what? I can love you from a distance. I don't need you, I gotta let people go because they're not helping me with my goal. We stay stuck in a situation because we don't have the mental strength to outgrow a person, right? Some people just rather stay in quicksand instead of being on solid ground because that's all they know. And if something goes bad, if they're on the right track, their mind is not strong enough to say, you know what, let me stay the course. Let me hold the line as my last live was about. They'll rather just go back to what's normal for them. Just like if people in a New Year's resolution, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds. But as soon as that they get off of that, they'll go right back to the resolution's over. Instead of they don't have the mindset, they don't have the strength to pick themselves up and go forward and say I made a mistake. A lot of people don't even have the strength to say I failed. I need to do better. I need to get on the good foot. They'd rather just stay in a rut because they don't have that mindset to say I can do better. So, I just think that, with strength, it starts, in our mind. I truly believe that, like I said, if we can actually come to the reality of I can do better, then it's the courage that will make you take that first step forward or towards that mark. If you can do better, you'll make that. It'll give you the strength to be courageous enough to take that step. It'll make you courageous enough to say, you know what, I can respond back to saying, I love you too. I care about you too. But some people, so there's so many people that don't know how to get the strength to acknowledge what they feel, they'll just keep mum mouth. They don't have the strength to say, you know what, I am worth more than what I'm getting paid as far as my job. I do deserve a raise. I do deserve this increase because I work just as hard as anybody else. But because they're not strong enough, they'll just sit there and stay at the job being underpaid. Because sometimes your work don't speak for you. Sometimes your actions don't speak for you. You gotta have the strength to push through. You gotta have the strength to overcome. You don't have the strength to, some people don't have the strength to say, you know what, I forgive you, mom, I forgive you, dad, or I forgive you, brother or sister, or whatever family member you having a problem with. Because some people just don't have it in them to say, I'm willing to let it go. I'm willing to start anew and take that courageous step in making the first step and saying that. Because in all reality, your strength is admitting that there's a problem. There's something wrong with me. But we don't even have that mental strength to say, hey, there's something wrong. We don't have that first instinct to say, hey, I screwed up. I messed up. You would rather place the blame somewhere else because you're not strong enough to accept accountability in your life. We have to understand that only with the strength that's within all of us, we all have this gift. But what is our actual strength? Do we have the strength to forgive? Do we have the strength to let go? Do we have the strength to go forward? Do we have the strength to say, I love you? Do you have the strength to admit your wrongs? These are the things that's inside of us. But we have to look inside of us to see where it's at. Sometimes we bury this strength because we don't think we need to use it. It's just like a gift. You put the gift, whatever your gift is, you don't even know what it is because you unburied it so far that you can't find it. The same way we do with pains, the same way we do with suffering. We all just, it's just something inside of you. Watermelon said there's something wrong with me. So now you got to find the strength to say, I know what's wrong. You made a step. You're admitting, you're being accountable by saying there's something wrong with me. Now you got to decide or find out what's wrong with you. Because if you can't find it, you may not accept it coming from somebody on the outside looking in, right? It's going to take you more strength to be able to take the constructive criticism if that's what's maybe coming your way. Or, I'm not saying it's something meant, but if it is, you may want to seek a therapist. You may want to seek a counselor. That takes strength. That strength will lead to courage. Like, all right, doc, I need your help. I have a problem. And then that comfort zone will allow you to express your problem. And then, God willing, there'll be a resolution. And I ain't talking about medicine. Sometimes the medicine that you need is to hear the problem and find out what's wrong with it. Seek it out, right? And yes, Cheeky, we are all flawed. Nobody is perfect. But we got to stop walking around like our oh boy, our shit don't stink. Excuse my language, right? Because there's a lot of people who think that they poop roses, and they know they ain't nothing rosy about your nasty butt, right? But there's people that don't have that strength to admit something as small as that. Because we got to keep our appearance up. We got to keep the facade up. They don't have the mental strength to say, you know what, I was wrong. I need to change for better. There's people out here that just rather just be messy instead of being clean because they want to keep a facade up. So what is our strength? We need to find our strength. What is it? Can I admit that I was wrong? Can I admit that I love somebody? Can I admit that I can do better at whatever it is I'm doing? Like if somebody tells me, "Hey, the way you run your the way you run your channel is not the way." Am I mentally strong enough to take the criticism, or do I just brush them off and say, "Nah, I know what I'm doing. I got this." Right? Ego is a big thing in our lives as well. That's a strength that we need to that's not even a strength. Let me take that back. The strength is to remove the ego out of your way so that way you can take whatever's coming to you. It's not an attack. You don't feel attacked, but you understand it may be coming out of love. But if you don't have the mental strength to remove your ego, you're gonna feel attacked. Oh man, bunk that person. Screw her or screw him. They don't know me like that. You know what I mean? But it could have been out of straight love that, hey, listen, uh, watermelon, it may be time for you to seek a professional. Now she turns around and say, what the hell you talking about? I got this. I know what I need to do. And this they may be feeling attacked instead of taking it with a constructive love criticism, right? Because they may be in their emotions. They may be, they're not strong enough to see that. Nah, nobody's attacking you. We're just trying to, we want the best for you. But there's a lot of people, whether it's on YouTube, in real life, as far as, off of YouTube, that won't accept that type of conversation. They won't accept it because they know what they're doing. Knowing good and well their way ain't the right way. Because if they way the right way, we wouldn't be, you couldn't display what you displaying for everybody else to see, that you may need to talk to somebody. You may need that help. Right? It's all about strength. What is our strength? We all have it. Do we have the strength to let go of something? Do we have the strength to admit our faults? Do we have the strength to say, I forgive you? These are the things that we have to look at, because if we don't look at it, we're just going to keep going in a repeated cycle. And I already prayed that 2024 is not a repeated cycle of 2023. These are the things that we need to go forward. Sometimes you got to have strength to let go of somebody that you outgrown. You can't just keep people that's around us just because they've been around us when we was poor in as far as our mindset, or poor in financially, right? Because how people, like, I'll give you an example, right? I know a person that, in my town, they became a rapper, right? But they're a well-known rapper. And for the most part, people got very upset with the person because, you didn't take us up out of here with you, right? We was with you when you was down. Why you ain't come get us when you came up? That's not his job to come get you when he came up. But you can't hold on to that because you had the same opportunities that they did. You just didn't pursue it. He had the strength to pursue his goal, his dream. That's what he wanted. He did it, right? But you can't be mad at him because he pursued it and now he's not around you no more. He outgrew the scene. He no longer wants to be in the town. He outgrew the town. You can't get mad at that. But there are people like that because we're so mentally weak, and that we need somebody to lift us up. It's okay to be encouraged, but if you don't have it in you already, nobody could add something that you don't already have. Right? I can't have the strength to love you more than you love yourself. I can't have that because all I'm gonna do is drain myself, and you are still going to be the same person. That's not a selfish thing to do. It's just a fact. You can't be strong for everybody. You can only add. You're not supposed to subtract from somebody. But if you don't have the strength to understand that, you're going to keep pouring into a person that don't want it. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them. It doesn't mean that you don't want the best for them. But at the same time, it means that you're going to run yourself dry. You ain't going to be the blessing that you need to be, all because you don't understand your strengths. Some people will turn their strength into a weakness. Like people will lean on your strength. Like, okay, you so giving, I'm gonna just let you keep giving and giving and giving and giving because I know you ain't gonna refuse me because you are a giver. We don't have the strength. With the strength come understanding that, hey, I have certain strength, but I can't allow it to go crazy. I can't allow it to run dry because what you forgive me for? Um, you can't just keep pouring. You got to understand your limit. There's a limit to strength, and there's a limit to even in physical strength. If you know you can't, for the fellas, if you know you can't bench more than 200 pounds, don't tell them to put another 20 or another 45 on the plate and make it 245. You can't do it. Women, if you know that you can't uh physically go through carrying 10 pounds of potatoes because you don't have the strength in you, don't try to carry 10 pounds of potatoes. It's things like that we have to understand our strengths. We have to understand where it lies, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. For those that are into spirituality like that, we have to understand what our strengths are. We got to know. It's not for others to know what we have. We supposed to already know it. If you know that you're a caring person, that's a strength. You got to show that you're a caring person. Let me help you. If you see somebody that's down, pick them up. It all depends on what you got, right? If you understand your strength, you should continue to work at your strength and go forward with it. Now I know people are saying, well, if you're strong, why you don't work on your weakness? You can do that too, but you got to be able to understand that you're strong enough to start to work on your weaknesses, right? You got to understand, but if you don't understand it, you just don't. All right, I'm good now, but I can go to no. You gotta understand what your strengths are. But if, like I said, if you don't know it, then you don't know it. So it might sound complex, it might sound difficult, but it's really not. How do we know what our strength is? You know what you can do. If you know that you have strength and patience, then you could be able to deal with some people longer than other people, right? If you got the patience of raising a child, as some of you ladies have done, then you understand, like, okay, I know my child's gonna mess up, but I gotta be there to support them. If you didn't have it, okay, well, I'm gonna beat you every time you do something wrong. But y'all have the strength of patience. Y'all have the strength of forgiveness more than a lot of men because y'all can forgive at any whim, drop of a hat. I forgive you. Men, we gotta understand how to forgive too. That may not be our greatest strength, but we have it in us. Yo, I forgive you for talking crazy to me like that. I don't want to throw the hands. I just want to forgive you and move on. Everything don't have to have a reaction to it. That's a strength that all of us need to have. We don't gotta respond just because somebody says something. We should be listening to understand instead of hearing to respond. But a lot of us hear to respond and then we respond at the drop of a hat. Oh no, she's talking crazy to me. Oh no, he's talking crazy. Oh, did he slip up and say something crazy? Or did she? No, listen to understand what they're saying. And then the strength is, okay, you said that. Okay, cool. Let me fall back from you. I got a lot of love for myself to not deal with your foolishness. But a lot of the times we fall into it because we're not strong enough. It's like people anticipate us to respond to something that we don't need to respond to, and so they do it. Right? So it's just, like I said, what is our strength? What is it? Do we have the strength to do these things? We have to examine ourselves to understand what our strength is. Because a lot of us don't even understand that we have those strengths, but we don't know where to find it. I ain't got to do that because, no, we all have that strength. We have strengths. We have weaknesses, but we have strengths too. The question is, how do we get through it? How do we find it? How do we know exactly what it is? And if we want it to be a strength, how do we improve on it? These are the things that we all have. These are the things that we can, check out and look at and examine. But it all starts with us. We can't keep looking for outside help when we need to help ourselves. We got to admit that we need help, and then we can go on out there and strengthen it. I need this help. I need that help. I need this. I need that. That's why a lot of people say, in spirituality, I need to seek God because I don't have the answers. They came to the realization that their strength is not theirs. They're going to seek it from somewhere else. We can do that with ourselves, whether it's, like I said, therapy or having that confidant to talk to. That's not going to be a yes person. You got to be ready to receive that criticism. Like, you know what? 1+1 ain't 2. Okay, well, let me explain to you how you was wrong. If you add 1 to 1, you understand? And not attack them because, you trying to play me. No, they're just trying to give you the constructive aspect of how to get to your right answer, how to build your strength, how to find the goals that you need to find. But it's up to you to understand it. It's up to you to realize I need that help. It's up to you to say, hey, I'm raising my hand because I don't understand what my help is. How do I get it? But until we understand that, we're going to keep going through the repetitive cycle that I prayed that nobody would find, because we have to keep looking for the strength to ask for help. We got to keep looking for the strength to allow the help to come to us. If we don't do that, then, we're going to be up poo-poo creek. So, I just wanted to come on here because that was heavy on me. It was like I was really thinking about it. And then, after watching these games, I just sat here and okay, I'm watching the physical side of it, but we don't understand the mental side of strength. We need the strength to understand that, I can be better. We got to have the strength to encourage somebody. Good evening, Selena. Right? We got to understand what our strengths are. What is it? Like some people's strength is, to have, like I said earlier, to have the patience to listen to somebody's problem and then, calmly express what it is. Right? Some people just fly off the handle. Nigga, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Nigga, you talking crazy. All of those type of things, instead of just saying, I need to be stronger in what I'm weak at. Even if you admit that you have a weakness, you can make that a strength. That's a strength right there, because like I said, you made the first step. Like, I need help in not talking crazy, or I need strength in not cussing somebody out, or I need strength and not to be physically violent, or I need strength to get through my emotional distress. We need those type of things. We need to understand that that's a strength, and we need to find out how to find it. Or if we want to make, like I said, if we want to make it a strength, we got to find out how to build it up, because there, like Cheeky said, there's no perfect people out here, right? So we have to understand how to better ourselves. We can strive for perfection, even if we know we can't get it. We strive for everything. We try to get everything else we know we ain't gonna get. We try to strive for $1 million, and we working at a $2 an hour job, but we still striving, right? So why not strive for our strength in our mind? Why not strive for health in our mental side of things in life, right? Geez, 20 degrees. I feel toasty. Ooh. Now y'all just cheeky be nice. Don't talk about the Cowboys. They had a bad game. You know what I mean? Like even in that comment, right? How do they gotta find a way to get over that. The fans have to find a way not to be so upset that they ready to tear the town up. They gotta understand that, hey, they lost. Tough cookies. We'll get them next year. But everybody's different. They messed the cold air, did it? Oh man. Oh, I didn't know you was a Cowboy fan, Cheeky. I didn't know that. But that's all I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, we got to find out what our strength is. Our strength is physically, our strength mentally, our strengths emotionally. And if we need to improve on our weaknesses, we got to understand that our strengths got to be figured out before we can move on to the weakness, before we can strengthen that. And that's going to take us examining ourselves, understanding what we can or can't do, and asking for help or assistance if we need it. Put your pride to the side. Say, I need help in curving my tongue, or I need help with learning how to cook, or I need a help with learning how to drive. Whatever your weakness is, you gotta ask for help because you're weak at it. You, as long as your pride gets in the way, you're not gonna ask for help. So, I just wanted, like I said, I just wanted to stop by and talk about that real quick because I've been thinking about it for a while, and I just said, let me just go ahead and push live and talk about it. Selena, find the strength to seek help so you don't hurt nobody. Oh, okay. Y'all ribbing each other. They keep calling my team crab girls. I want to fight. Well, we gotta find a way. We gotta find a way not to be so hateful. Because at the end of the day, that's what causes a lot of egos to pop up anyway. Like we fighting for things and people that that ain't even necessary to fight over. Ooh, they got them messed up. Listen, y'all see my emblem right there. I can't talk about no team. My team ain't been nowhere in forever, right? So I understand that. Hey, you got to have real strength to deal with my type of team, right? Because if they ain't never gonna win, somebody gonna say, well, why do you stick with them? Because you have the strength to cheer for them, right? That's my team. I'm sorry, so that's what I'm saying. It's all about strength and courage. Courage is a different app. Strength is at the courage because then you could make the physical steps to take that take that route. Okay, I need help in finding a job. Let me do a resume. Let me go out there, go in the interview. Certain things like that, right? So courage, to me, courage come out the strength. I know there may be a debate about that, but for me, if I don't have the strength to be courageous, I don't think I can do it. So y'all got bail money. Wait, what? Okay, listen, we ain't bailing nobody out. We got this. Listen, we strong enough. We strong enough not to let that get to us. Thank y'all for helping me though. We gotta understand that we ain't going that route. Yeah, we can't miss no days of work or nothing. So I ain't listen. Just wait till the summertime when you can't lose your job. But yeah, you just like I said, I just wanted to stop by and had that conversation with everybody. I just believe that, like I said, we have our strengths. We just have to understand what they are and put them to work. And if not, and if we need help, you got people around you that's gonna help you. And they're not just gonna be yes people. They're gonna be okay, let me spot you. Meaning let me hold some of this up for you. So, I just like I said, I just wanted to stop by, you know, and put that out in the atmosphere. We have to understand our strengths, right? We got to know what they are, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally. We gotta find them and use them. Some of our strength could be, just like I said, being an ear, letting people vent, let them have their conversation, just like y'all having your conversation now. So I'm gonna just keep talking so y'all can just, crack some jokes. But yeah, we just gotta know our strengths and we gotta apply it to our everyday life. But y'all ladies are crazy. But yeah, With that being said, I'm running out of words, so I'm gonna just stop talking, and I'm just gonna wish everybody a good night. And I hope to see y'all again soon. I'm out.